Boys and girls, welcome back to another video by yours truly. We have Duet Night Abyss patch 1.1 that just dropped, and with it came what I believe to be the most broken character in the entirety of the game. Yes, we're talking about Fushu. This woman literally does it all, from attack speed boost to both your melee and ranged weapon, and also an attack speed boost to your skills attacks. Yes, even skills are included on this. And then she's also got sanity, recovery, and regeneration to people who kind of like starve for sanity, such as Psyche. This woman has so many different buffs and values. She also does damage herself. She heals. She provides a shield. Like, what doesn't this woman do? We're going to get into all of it. We'll show off the versatility of this absolute monstrosity as a support, and then we'll wrap it up, boys. But before we get further, I want to give a huge shout out to the DNA team for sponsoring this video and enabling me to provide you guys with this wonderful information. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And if you like what you saw, don't forget to click the link down below in the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section to try out this brand new update. Let's get into it. All right, so before we get into all the need to know details of her kit, I first wanted to show off these skin differences. So we're looking at the base skin right here. You can look at her hairstyle. You can see the dragon tail back there. You know, it's okay. It's kind of decent. It's not blowing me away. I think it looks clean and crisp, a bit of pristine, you know. And then we show off these basic attacks. You can see they've got like I would say a turquoise kind of coloration to them, if you will. And then when we set up one of her skills, it's just this little ball. Functions very similar to Rebecca's skill as well. They both tick kind of the similar fashion. We've also got her ultimate, which when we look at the ultimate, you can just see kind of like an aura emanating around her. Now, if we come over here to cosmetics and we switch over here to her costume, first and foremost, you can already see there's a massive difference here, right, boys? All right, there's two big differences. Putting the jokes aside, she's got her like imbibiter Fushu going on, if you know, She's got that divine dragon water aura just emanating around her. You can see the tail is now ethereal and transparent, which I actually really like. And she's got this bikini on that just makes her look infinitely more hotter. I'm gonna just be honest. And her hairstyle has changed. I actually like this hairstyle a lot better. But that's not the only thing that's changed on her. If we come over here and do some auto attacks, you'll see the auto attacks, the coloration has also changed a bit as well. Even that, you know, that plunging bam slam into the ground right there. And this reminds me of like Pool Party Ziggs. We've now got a little rubber ducky, man, and he like splashes out little beach party balls. So that's kind of cool. And if we pop her ultimate, we've got a little ducky that surrounds us, and then after that you can see like seashells, a little watermelon surrounding her. And you know what, this is actually quite cool because you can see that when a buff expires, so do those little, you know, beach inspirations as well. But that's pretty much the skin. I like it. It's available if you guys want to grab it and admire two big reasons for it, boys. It is available for pulls. Now that we've got that out the way, let's go ahead and get into the important stuff. So Fushu is one of those characters, as I mentioned before, that can quite literally just do it all. Let's talk about it. Her summon, which is her skill, functions just like Rebecca's. Set it up, watch it do its thing. It can restore HP and it can restore sanity every 3 seconds. Right now I'm sitting at 12. Keep in mind, I'm only level 6 on all characters I'm going to be talking about in this, because during the beta I wasn't able to access resource acquisition so that I can unlock, honestly, some very important buffs such as this one right here. Keep that in mind. So at level 6 I'm able to restore sanity by 12 and I'm able to heal. It lasts for 11 seconds. That is the one scrutiny I will say about her skill. It's not a game breaker because I don't really care about it, but it lasts for only 11 seconds, so you might want to try and squeeze in some skill duration if you can, which we'll go over the build later. But one thing I did like that separates her a little bit else was you can aim this like over here, bam, and then you can aim it over here. You don't even have to move, right? So you can set up 2 little rubber duckies. If you unlock her Intron 2, you can actually get up to 3 of those little rubber duckies all at once. But once again, the summoning is going to restore HP, restore sanity, and it actually ticks for some pretty impressive multiplier, especially considering how much skill damage this girl can stack to the benefit of the party, by the way, which leads me into her ultimate. Her ultimate is a buff, and the way that her ultimate functions is she pops that ult, she gets that aura around her. It provides a shield, which is always beautiful, right? Because you get a shield through the entire party, and this shield will also provide an additional buff called 9 needle therapy. And this is where the beefy damage comes into play. Check this out. She can convert 22% of her own total skill damage into skill damage increase for the party, up to, look at this, up to 120% skill damage boost. That is disgusting. And once again, we do have a duration down there, so it is beneficial to you if you can squeeze in skill duration increase, be it on your weapon or in your builds, okay? So skill duration is going to be important to keep these buffs up, but then again, you can also just continue casting it because her skill efficiency with her skill and buff is pretty dang solid. I'll show off the build here in a bit. I want to make sure we're going through this. 9 needle therapy doesn't just give you skill damage increase. I want you to look up here. She also gives an attack speed boost of 50% once again to the freaking party, man. This stuff is insane. And that's holistic harmony, which is going to have a radius capped into it. But as long as you're inside of that radius, I believe you're going to be able to get that 50% attack speed boost. And let me show you just the difference of the attack speed boost once she pops it, right? So we have this right here is how she attacks normally, right? We got that. And then once you pop that ultimate, check out this attack speed boost. Oh my goodness, man, it's just a big difference, man. And so when you're using somebody who's already attacking really fast, you'll be able to feel that difference immediately with them as well, which again, we're going to be going on to those showcases later. Her passive just doubles down. So this is going to increase attack speed boost. This is going to increase skill speed boost. So even the skills of your characters will increase in speed. I used her with Rebecca. We'll be showcasing it. The jellyfish start ticking and splashing faster, which is crazy, man. And then you've got skill speed boost duration. So once again, if you can get some duration built into that build, you definitely want to do that. And then all the showcases you're going to be looking at, I didn't get the chance to unlock this, which actually reinforces her skill damage boost even further, which once again, because her buff makes you scale off of her own skill damage. I didn't unlock that. It is what it is. I also don't have this, so I'm missing out on another skill damage boost. But if you take a look at my Fushu, you'll see that I have 272% skill damage, which is insane considering that the multiplier right now is 22%. So just off of what I've got right now, my whole party's getting 60% skill damage boost. However, that's not including this right here. This is not being factored in. I get another 100% skill damage to myself and allies when my skill efficiency is over 150, which it is over 150, but it is not reflecting inside of how much skill damage I have. So you'll see I have 272, right? If you look at this and I take it off, you'll see I still have 272. So it doesn't reflect that additional 100%. So it gets insane, boys. Let me just tell you that. And you'll see it in the damage numbers. I personally went for a build that is very supportive induced. She's also got a DPS build, but I would only recommend doing that if you take her all the way to Intron 6. That said, this build is tailored to you whipping out Fushu from your tactical backpack and just watching her buff you effortlessly without you even realizing it. That's what this build's gonna be tailored to. So we got Volition +5 right here. And the way that this one works is you only get this 100% skill damage to yourself and your allies when your skill efficiency is greater than 150. Obviously, with that in mind, you want to start building for skill efficiency, which that's going to be important anyway, because when you're casting, your tactical backpack is casting these non-stop and popping her ult, you're going to be consuming a lot of sanity with her. So having that skill efficiency up high reduces the cost of how much these things are going to cost when you're casting them with her. So it's important to have good skill efficiency for her anyways. Going back over here, when we take a look at this, all you have to do to know you fulfilled it is just come over here and take a look. Okay, I'm at 153. I fulfilled that condition. Now she's going to give it to the whole party. And now Blaze Inspo is going to be something you can stack over and over. And by the way, if you don't have the gold piece, it's okay. Just go over to the purple piece. You don't need all of these gold pieces. You can very well come over here and do the purple one instead. It's almost just as good until you start buffing these things up. But you'll notice I have Blaze Inspo 1, 2, 3, 3 Blaze Inspos in totality there. So that's enough to get me right over that 153% hump. So yeah, you'll probably just need Blade Inspo +3. After that, you have Midnight Sun, which is going to give you Hydro attack, skill damage, and skill duration. Skill duration, like I told you before, it's important to try to keep that uptime on some of those buffs that are lasting. So if you can get a little bit in there, that would be nice, but it's not going to be a deal breaker. Now in the middle here, we've got the Feathered Serpent's Volition. This gives 100% skill damage to her, and it extends her tolerance cap +25. In fact, I'm a goofball. I didn't level this up. Okay, so there we go. So now that that's leveled up, we're chilling on that, but basically it just extends the tolerance cap up a little bit higher, so you don't have to spend as much adjust slot tracks with this bad boy. We've also got Prime Uplift +5. That's going to give us some attack percent, and it's going to increase the damage damage dealt by our party further by 11%. So that's what I went for. There's two different options here. You can do this, or you can do the other one that increases your sanity by for your party. The reason I went for this one is because I usually just put the other one on the other support tactical backpack character, right? So it's one or the other. You can either do this to double down and now she's giving even more sanity, or you can go for this one. Usually it's vice versa. Finally, I went for Frosty Torrent +5. That's more skill damage. When a Hydro character uses a skill, the user and nearby allies gain even more attack increase. So you can just start to see all of these buffs are just being given to the party by this one individual character. And then I'm stacking as much skill damage as I can on her to convert that over to the party as well. And then the rest is just like watch her do her thing passively without even worrying about her. She is an absolute abomination of a support. So let's go ahead and look at the benefits she provides to the party with a number of different teams. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is I'm going to show you her individual damage without Fushu being on the field. And then we're going to put Fushu on the field and you'll see the difference there. To level 100 enemies, which means my damage might be lower than it should be since they're 20 levels higher than me. So we'll go ahead and put these guys up here. Let's look at this damage real quick. We're looking at, was that 70, 68,000, 60,000, 69. Okay, like 60 to 70K. 60 to 70K. Now let's put our little water girl in the party with us. So now we went up to 100K. Ooh, big numbers, big numbers. Let's do that again. All right, looking at 67. I think her buff might have wore off. But I think I saw us go up to 80 to 100K with the water girl in the party too now, which is helping us up. So we got like double water girls in the party. But we're looking at 60 to 70. And I think once O girl pops her skill damage boost, I can jump up to about 80 to 90K. Oh, there you go. You saw that? 89,000, 87,000. There we go. 87,000 with the water girl in the party too. Okay, and now we just eviscerated those guys, by the way. Like they just got completely obliterated. Now I'm gonna summon the final boss, Fushu, and I want you guys to see just how fast they get cooked once this girl comes into the party. Okay, all right, so we're looking at 170,000 damage, 147, 150. And just, yeah, it's just great. We're in the hundreds, well in the hundreds, but I saw 170,000 damage and they're ticking faster. Keep in mind, they're not only hitting like twice as hard, they're ticking faster too, because she gives skill speed boost. And then she's keeping my sanity replenished the entire time. So pretty much if your Rebecca AFK comps were already strong, they're through the goddamn stratosphere now with this woman. Let's move on to the next comp. All right, so now we got Lynn out here ready to pop off. And let's see what Lynn's hitting for by herself, okay? So we're looking at 16s on a crit, 40K. All right, 46K on a crit, 20s without crits. Okay, that's good enough. Let's go ahead and kill these guys off. And now let's let's summon in the final boss, boys, all right? But we're also gonna summon in the main protagonist. The main protagonist is also a fantastic support for Lynn because they boost weapon damage as well as crit chance, which helps Lynn out tremendously. And they do a couple of other things too that just like, honestly, I think they're highly slept on. All right, so we're gonna jump up in the air. Let's jump up in the air. We got the buff now. All right, so now we're doing 40s on non-crits and 100Ks on crit. Yeah, so just like a world of a difference, boys. We went from critting being 40K to non-crits being 40K and crits being 100K. And so there's our Lynn with this team right here. All right, now let's move on to another character. All right, so now we're gonna do Psyche, guys. I want y'all to keep in mind too, fellas, I have all of these characters at Intron 0. They're not even max duped. She's got 2 dupes, right? That's just to summon 5 jellyfish. But Lynn's at E0. I haven't been like using these people like fully decked out. That is the crazy thing about all of this. But now we've got Psyche in the limelight. We're gonna go ahead and take it up a notch, okay? Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and pop Psyche's ult, okay? We're just gonna start popping off. That's 100Ks. Holy man, that is just. And look at Psyche. Psyche struggles with sanity. Look at how fast she's regenerating sanity. Right, we're looking at 126 here, flying up, flying up, flying up. Yeah, so this is Psyche, just a lot more comfortable because she's got so much sanity replenishment. And so you're just able to just fire away, chill, fire away, chill. And this is with the main protagonist and Fushu once again. You can see we just keep getting that stuff back as long as we're like killing people and funneling them out the way. But yeah, this just demonstrates the universal value of Fushu. She's just an absolute monster. And I'm not saying my Psyche build was the best build ever as well. She's more so of a comfort. You just sit in there and float around. Plus, once again, these characters are at Intron 0. But basically, Fushu can work on any kind of composition. And guys, I didn't even show you the melee like type of compositions, right? People who are fast attacking, like if we're gonna be looking at somebody like him, right? He's using his samurai sword. You can put her on the team with him. She's not only going to boost his skill damage, she's also going to boost his attack speed. And so his skills hitting a lot harder, which it already hits hard. And he's attacking a lot faster with that stance, allowing you to build up combo to go straight into that EI sheath like Monster Hunter Slash. I almost forgot to mention this. All those showcases, you were looking at those damage numbers, that was not including her introns either, Fushu's introns. This is just E0 Fushu. And look at the E1, or the I1, I guess. Defense ignore 30%. She just adds that in to her buffs on top of the damage numbers you're already seeing. Then 3 rubber duckies instead of 2. Then right here, 12% morale boost. This is multiplicative, super strong, stacks up to 3 times. Once again, just inserting that inside of the already broken kit she has. And then at E6 or I6, she's able to become a DPS herself and start doing additional hydro damage on top of her normal attacks. So you'll just start popping off with her at I6 as a melee attacker, honestly, which sounds kind of fun. So keep that in mind. This is all this showcase you're seeing. This was Intron 0. I am going to go ahead and tell you guys right now, in terms of priority, she is a must grind. Obviously, you grind for everybody in this game. You know, you don't have to worry about like not being able to pull on a character anymore. It's all free for you to grind. You can put the Intron 6 completely free and stuff. And the way you unlock her, by the way, speaking of which, is going to be very similar to the way you unlocked Psyche. If you go over to Immersive Theater, remember in the last patch, Immersive Theater grind, same thing with our girl, Fushu. Fina, our other character, which I want to go ahead and point her out. Fina is now going to be into the boss swap. You know how you do your weekly boss fights? Fina's going to be in there for you to grind weekly now, so you can start grinding for her through the boss fights, which is really, really huge because she's another fantastic support. But yeah, that's going to wrap up my guide. I hope I brought you guys some value. If you did like what you saw, click the link down below in the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section to download Duet Night Abyss and play their patch 1.1 update. Oh, and I almost forgot something incredibly important. If you log in, you get a free skin that you can place on any character of your choosing. And you can see I went with Lynn because, well, Lynn looks the most hot with it on, in my personal opinion, but you can put it on whoever you fancy. Just wanted to throw that in here. Once again, huge shout out to the DNA team for sponsoring this video. Peace, love, and happiness. Catch you guys on the flip side.